Time is 7:31. I will call the Lake Como Workshop meeting to order. Amy, we're good, we're live, we're ready to go? All right, thank you. We have two items on the workshop agenda. The first is listed as a drainage plan ordinance discussion. This is actually more of a grading plan ordinance. If you can see that I handed out a copy of Wall Township's grading plan. This was a discussion that was held by the planning board, as you can see, over the summer. And it's been an ongoing conversation with new builds in the area, in the town, about drainage and grading, and they've seen a lot of applications come before them where applicants are looking to change the grading, or a lot of questions about drainage, about what type of drainage the new home or subdivision will utilize, whether it's a gutter system into a sump pump, or a dry well, or a recharging system, et cetera, et cetera. This example that I showed you is just a grading code from Wall. I'm using this as an introduction to the council, as something that we may want to look into if we are interested in looking into it. And if so, we would invite our planning board engineer to join us for testimony one night. But if you just take a look at it, it's basically a hardened code on altering or changing elevation land, how it needs to get approved, what can and cannot be done, puts a lot of onus on the builder to protect neighbors when building new homes or grading new properties, or existing properties, I should say. So I just wanted to put it on here to give an introduction and have you look at it real quick if you had any questions. I know a lot of us have gone through the process of building a home or changing a home or going in front of the planning board, etc. And this might be something that we want to look into. Does anybody have any questions? Any thoughts?
Would this be replacing something, or is this, or is there no code in place?
We have no grading code in place, which is one of the reasons why they are making the recommendation. Like I said, they're seeing a lot of these questions come up at, especially our Board of Adjustments, our zoning board, which are one and the same. We have a planning board, zoning board combination, and they're seeing a lot of these coming up in front of the applications for variances.
Yeah, I think it'd be worth hearing from our engineer about, I think this is a good start for us to look at as a sample. I think it'd be great to hear from our engineer, because obviously Lake Como is different than Wall. So yeah, I'd be interested in hearing from someone.
Yeah, this was just an example that was brought to the attention of the planning board, which was forwarded to myself during a planning board meeting. I was not at the last planning board meeting, and this is something that's been on my agenda to bring to the council. So, Amy, can you extend an invitation to Mr. Hilla and Mr. Cavalucci if they wish to come to the next meeting? Which is not
The first?
the first. Is the first?
Yes. Yep.
We don't have to adjust that meeting, but we do have to adjust the one on the 15th. Is there one scheduled for the 15th?
There's only one in
That's what I thought. Okay, so and you can invite them to come to the November 1st meeting to talk about the grading, introduction of a grading plan. Any other questions, thoughts, concerns?
No, they should, I mean, yeah, no, I think that impervious coverage comes into play, that it's really important to hear from the engineers and see what kind of problems they're having with the grading plans, because my sense was that when applications are filed before the boards, that they have to show what their intention with respect to grading, but we don't regulate it any, although I assume the engineer periodically makes recommendations regarding it because of drainage and impervious coverage issues. So Yeah, I mean, they need to tell us what experience they've had and what they're recommending.
Yeah, and I think they'll talk a little bit more too, and the reason why I put drainage plan in there is because that's one of the biggest concerns right now of our planning board is drainage. And where the water is going, we do have sandy soil, so it does dissipate fairly well. But during heavy rains, we do get a lot of pooling around town in different spots, so I think it's a part of a larger discussion. Our next item on the workshop is our business insurance registry discussion. This summer, the state of New Jersey passed legislation that asks for, or requires, thank you, the town to host a directory of business owners, rental unit owners, and anyone owning a home with 4 or less units in it and resides in the unit to hold a certain level of liability insurance on that property. And this law is requiring us to keep a database on that. Peggy, I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, I would just add that the, originally it provided that the state would maintain a registry. Now it specifies that business owners and owners of rental units have to have a certain level of insurance, like it's 500,000, and then owner occupied 4 rental units or less have to have 300,000. But the key is the certificate of registration of that insurance has to be filed with the clerk of the municipality instead of with the state. And so what the statute says now too is that the municipality can impose a reasonable cost on the entity or the individual or the homeowner or the owner of the property who's filing this document to account for the reasonable cost of maintaining the registry. So the question before the council is, do you want to impose such a cost, and if so, how much?
The question from the clerk also, from Amy, was that we have a database on this already, correct?
We have a landlord registration.
Okay, but we do not, are they required to pay for that registration? They do not have to provide liability insurance, it's just a list. Just to add, in reading this, if they do not provide that, then they are held responsible in a possible fine between $500 and $5,000. And that is governed by our existing penalty ordinance, correct? Fine ordinance?
Yeah, I think so, yes.
So I think those are 2 good questions. By the way, it also says if we don't find them, the state will find them. So we probably want to find them first. Do we want to impose a fee on this registration? Thoughts?
Amy, this database that we use now, is this software that we have? It's more manual?
And that's all they're looking for, is just a record of it that we then file with the state. And they will actually keep a website, a searchable database throughout the state of these residents and the insurance that they carry, or businesses and the insurance that they carry.
Right, but the sense is that there is an administrative cost. I don't know what that cost might be, but you have room in your ordinance. There's actually a section that says fees payable to the clerk for document maintenance and the reporting to the state is something too. So it does require some amount of additional work by the town, so you can impose. And I think I'd look at what you charge for licenses and other kinds of registrations.
I was gonna say, what's comparable to it?
Or something like that.
Do we have anything comparable that we do file that is a fee?
I mean, the only thing we have is a mercantile license, right? We have a funeral license.
Dog licenses?
Dog license, well, we're not charging $1. So, I mean, my suggestion to the council would be to bring this back as an ordinance. We do it as an ordinance in the next meeting.
Yes. Mhm.
With the,
With a number.
with the number that we have already in code, and we can figure out what that is as far as what our licenses are costing.
Right, or we could check other municipalities and see what, if
Yeah,
anything,
that's
they're
my next
charging.
question.
And there's been questions in front of the council as well, as far as raising our licensing fee, raising our mercantile licensing fee, which is $50, I think.
95.
$95, it was $50, we just raised it, I think that's. So, it's definitely a conversation to have about that as well. But I think for the time being with this, we can look at what a comparable fee would be for the registration. We'll bring that back to the next meeting, the first reading.
It's just something to compare it to.
One other question, what is the compliance date for everyone to be registered with us and us to have these records?
So the legislation became effective as of August 2022. So my guess is that I haven't seen that, but my guess is it's yearly.
But no, there's actually something in that, I didn't bring a copy of the ordinance just because I didn't go back to my office to say.
You can't
But
read it
of the
anyway,
statute, no, I can't. But it depends on whether or not you have insurance in effect. If you have insurance in effect, then it doesn't go into effect until 90 days after your insurance gets renewed or something like that, and the other's 180 days. So there's soon, it's coming up soon, when people who already have insurance should file within a certain period of time, and people who don't have it have some time to get it. So I can tell you exactly what that is once we decide how much we're going to charge. But that's part of it, because we also are going to monitor it and impose fines, and so there's, again, there's going to be administrative responsibility.
If I'm reading this right, it looks like it's 180 days.
Yeah, if for certain, it says 180 days if you're renewing it, and 90 days if you're not renewing it, something like that, yeah.
But we can have that in the ordinance as well, right?
Yes, but we don't have to, because the ordinance is really, I mean, they're bound by the state statute. We don't, I mean, we could obviously notify our property owners and our landlords that this is in effect, but they should already know. They're already required to carry insurance at the moment they file it with the state. So the major difference is they're filing it with us. We also should probably check and see what the state charges, so that we're not imposing a significantly less or significantly higher cost.
So you're saying that they just created a law that took money away from the state and gave it to the
Right,
municipalities?
that's what it sounds like. That's pretty
unbelievable.
wild, yeah. It also took away the responsibility from the state, so the state doesn't have to maintain the registry.
You good? Thoughts, questions, anything else? All right, thank you very much. That's a quick workshop. At this time, I will call, it is 7:44, I will call the Lake Como regular meeting of the mayor and council to order. Please rise for a salute to the flag and a moment of silent reflection. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a moment of silent reflection. Thank you. Sunshine law, please.
Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by the adoption of a resolution by the mayor and council on the 4th day of January 2022, in which resolution, the time and place of agenda and regular meetings commencing with January 4th were set forth. Notice of same was delivered to the Asbury Park Press, the CoStar, and Tap Into, and a copy of the notice was posted on the borough website and on the bulletin board in Borough Hall. All meetings are open to the public.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Liddy is excused. Councilwoman Skull,
Here.
Antoino,
Here.
DeMoro is excused. Ventris,
Here.
Valadoil.
Here.
Can I have a motion to approve the minutes of September 20th?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed or abstentions? We have no communications. We'll start with our reports of committee, starting with Councilwoman Valadoil.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to start off, I know we didn't have a meeting at the last meeting, but I wanted to say what a great time everyone had at Lake Como Day. It was a phenomenal day. The town's talking about it. People who came from outside of town are talking about it. So it was a fantastic day, so thank you. Other than that, all matters are in order.
Thank you. Councilman Ventris.
Thank you, Mayor. I share those sentiments. I received a lot of very positive comments from my out-of-towners also on the Como Day. This Saturday, the Environmental Commission is sponsoring the borough cleanup. Those who want to participate, we're going to meet at here at Borough Hall at 9 o'clock. It goes to 11. There'll be light snacks provided. It looks like there won't be as much of an emphasis on the lake this year because we don't want to interfere with the project that's underway right now. All matters are in order.
Thank you.
9 a.m. to 11.
Councilman D'Antuono.
Thank you, Mayor. All matters are in order.
Councilwoman Skull?
Thank you, Mayor. So I just want to, again, say how great I thought Lake Como Day went this year. And I have some people to thank. So first I want to thank our sponsors. Our biggest sponsors were La Sierra in town, Joe's Surf Shack, and our event sponsor was Bar Anticipation, so thank you so much to them. Also thank you to our Lake Como Day Planning Committee, especially Amy, Boney, and Councilwoman Albala Doyle. They really did a lot of heavy lifting for this event. Thank you, of course, to the DPW. They did so much for us, and to Chip Kavanaugh for donating the funds from his hot dog stand to our park. Thank you to Frankie and Tony Jones for helping us with the beer tent. And thanks to the mayor and council for covering the merchandise table, helping us with that. I am sure I'm forgetting somebody. I will think of you if I forgot you, and I'd like to thank everybody, all our sponsors on Facebook. So, in addition, our business of the month that we're featuring on Facebook this week will be Foot Envy. So take a look for somebody's excellent adventures.
Probably Bells.
Either Bells or maybe her friend Gray. And then also I want to move along to our next event in town, which is the Lake Como Annual Holiday Tree Lighting, scheduled for Saturday, December 3rd at 6:30 p.m. here at Borough Hall. Join us for crafts, snacks, and holiday festivities, more to be announced. Other than that, all matters are in order.
What time do we start? Are we starting?
6:30.
Oh, it's already in my calendar.
Very good.
All right. Thank you very much. I'm not here, so I will move to my report, and I will follow up with a thank you to Councilwoman Skull and the Tourism Commission for what they do for Lake Como Day. It is an event that is just getting better and better every year, and I expect it to continue to get better, and it's just a great day. It's a great day for the town, and it's a great day for the people that visit the town as well. With that, I would like to congratulate the town itself and the hard work of our borough clerk and our borough administrator for securing this year's Community Development Block Grant for Lake Como. And it's reported that we are going to receive $177,692 from the Community Development Block Grant. Amy, can you just talk real briefly about where that's gonna? You gave the presentation. You're responsible for getting the money, so I think you should just give a little quick. What are we doing with it?
Upgrading our playground, our snack stand and bathrooms, and the walkway as part.
Very good. This just goes to a continued presence, a renewed presence up at the park, through the town, through many different ventures. We got a bunch of things going on at the same time. Congratulations to everybody. Thank you, Amy, for your hard work. Drew, for your work as well. We also have the ongoing project down at the lakefront. As you can see, that they started moving pretty quick. Once the weather started to turn, the walking path has begun to be installed, and we're continuing to do work on that, which is really great to see. It's really great to see progress down there. It's going to be nice. We got a long way to go. We got a lot of things to add from where we are right now, but it's going to look really nice. Finally, I was contacted by a gentleman who is running an event at Bar Anticipation this Saturday, and he asked me to speak on behalf of the town. I cannot be there. He asked me to pass along the invitation to everyone else on the council. If you wish to go, just let me know. I will let him know. It is an organization run out of Ocean County out of Point Pleasant called Dine on Us, and it is an organization that raises money to prepare meals for families of service members of the armed forces who live off base. And if you go to their website, which is dineonus.org, it's actually very interesting. There's a lot of information on there that many of our active service members can't live on base because they don't have that many bases anymore. And there's actually a long waiting list for our service members to live on base. And those that have to live off base do not really get paid a lot of money by the federal government to survive off base, especially in the state of New Jersey, where someone who is an E5 for our federal government makes $1,700 a month, and their rent is probably $2,500 a month. And then they have 2 kids, and childcare is another $2,600 a month. So their spouse decides not to work so they can take care of the children, and they live very far below the poverty line. So this organization, which the more I read about it, is pretty amazing. It is a non-for-profit organization, and what they do is they provide meals for families who live off base, only because the federal government will not allow them to provide meals for families that live on base. So they focus on those families. Now, it was a nice phone call. I don't usually pick up phone numbers that I don't know. And for some reason, I picked up this phone call, and it was just fortuitous that I did so. So it's definitely something that I think I'm going to get interested in the future. Unfortunately, I cannot be there Saturday. If anyone wishes to go, you can go to their website, dineonus.org, and their event. It looks like this organization just started not too long ago. I think everything was in 2001, 2002, so this is one of their first big events. Anybody wishes to go, let me know. I can let the gentleman know who contacted me, and you can attend. You may be asked to speak on behalf of the town. Just know that may be a possibility. So,
Mayor, can you
yes?
tell us more about the actual event? Like what time is it and what takes place?
Sure, I can, if you give
If
me
you
a
happen to
second.
know.
It is definitely at Bar A, which is in the borough of Lake Como. It is, events, here we go. So it is called For the Bases, Saturday, October 22nd, 12 to 6. It is a music festival. So if the wind is blowing right, you may hear the music. Prepaid admission is $40, at the door is $50. It is unlimited barbecue, cash bar for anyone over 21, and entertainment for children, including a trunk or treat. Oh, Councilman Scott, just interesting. Kids under 12 are free. There will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different bands hosted by a DJ. Looks like it's a pretty spectacular event. Couple DJs, it looks like. So it looks like an ongoing event. So it is a music festival for the bases, presented by Dine on Us and Bar Anticipation. So I think it's pretty cool. It's definitely an organization that I'm going to look into a little bit further, but just wanted to present that to you and to the community for information. So other than that, all matters are in order. Thank you very much. At this time, I would like to open for public comment on new business and consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Anyone wishing to speak to the consent agenda or new business, please come forward and do so now. Seeing none, I'll take a motion to close.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Under new business, we have Resolution 2022-151 offered by Councilwoman Albala Doyle.
Thank you, Mayor. So offered Resolution 2022-151, be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Lake Como that the proper officers be directed and authorized to make payments from the following accounts. The current account, $470,067.07. The water and sewer account, $161,923.25. The tourism account, $18,406.77. And the dog license account, $1.20. For a total of $650,398.29.
Any questions? Any motion to raise the dog license?
That's for you.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Stoll?
Yes.
Antoine?
Yes.
Ventrice?
Yes.
Alvarado?
Yes.
Thank you. The resolution passes. Resolution 2022-152, offered by Councilwoman Scully.
Thank you, Mayor. Offering Resolution 2022-152, be resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Lake Como that the proper officers be directed and authorized to make payment from the following account. New Jersey Natural Gas Company, $191.67.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second?
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Skull?
Yes.
D'Antuono?
Abstain?
Ventries?
Yes.
Alvarado?
Yes.
Thank you, the resolution passes. Resolution 2022-153, our famous Halloween curfew offered by Councilman D'Antuono. There was a D there,
So offered resolution number 2022-153 is a resolution authorizing mayor and council to declare a Halloween curfew. This resolution declares a curfew on the use of streets and highways in all of the borough of Lake Como between the hours of 8 o'clock in the evening until 6 o'clock in the morning time each day, beginning at 8 p.m. on October 29th and ending at 6 a.m. on November 1st, 2022. During such hours, no person under the age of 18 shall remain in or upon any public street, highway, or place, except those accompanied by a parent or guardian, and except those who are going directly between their home and place of work or school.
Thank you, I have a motion. Any questions on this? I know we rewrote this a couple of years ago to be a little bit more explanatory. I think it's pretty good. So, we have a motion, do we have a second?
Second?
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Skull?
Yes.
D'Antuono?
Yes.
Ventries?
Yes.
Alvarado?
Yes.
Thank you, the resolution passes. This time I'll take a motion to open for public comments.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Anyone wishing to make a comment from the public, can you please come to the mic and be recognized? Seeing none, I'll take a motion to close.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Next meeting, please.
The next regular meeting of the mayor and council will be held on Tuesday, November 1st, immediately following the 7:30 p.m. workshop meeting. All meetings are open to the public.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. We are adjourned.